Strategy 4. De-bias your hiring assessments, only the relevant and required. Many organizations use a series of tests, discussions, and interviews to evaluate a candidate for a position, especially if the position is an important, critical, or sought after one, or if there's a lot of competition for the position. A thorough, comprehensive, and systematic evaluation of candidates is good, but in the minefield of potential unconscious biases, it is always good to be cautious when doing such an elaborate evaluation. As I said earlier, it's important to take time to identify the essential job related skills. This will help you focus on developing only those evaluations and assessments that directly assess these relevant skills. Review your assessment portfolio, the set of tests and interviews, and any other evaluations that a candidate has to go through successfully to be selected for the job role. Identify those evaluations that are not directly relevant to the job requirements and re-evaluate their need. Do they really add value? Eliminate those assessments that do not really provide meaningful insights into a candidate's ability to perform their role effectively. It is necessary to have a structured and objective evaluation process, but the tests and evaluations used for these need to be standardized and objective. Everyone needs to take all the required tests and no more, and the weightage for each should be the same for all. And this needs to be enforced, and conformance to these standards should be a part of the performance evaluations of hiring managers, leaders, and human resources. In general, there are a whole host of new types of hiring evaluations done by organizations these days. This is because it's virtually impossible to find out exactly how someone will behave or perform on the job based on just a written test or two interviews. So, organizations have been coming up with more and more innovative ways to try and gauge how candidates will actually behave in a real world work scenario. The earlier aptitude tests have now been replaced with tests which don't just measure IQ, but also divergent thinking, emotional intelligence, mindset, grit, etc. Because it is important for organizations to keep up with recent research, which tells us that more than just cognitive ability or IQ, other factors like divergent thinking, EQ, mindset, etc., are important predictors of performance, productivity, innovation, and success. And all organizations need all of those. There are also lots of personality and attitude traits that can be measured through questionnaires and other evaluations. Evaluating and assessing a candidate's personality and attitude can often be very important. Technologies and skills can be learned, but attitudes are harder to learn, train, or change. However, as always, it is important to be cautious. Knowing intricate details about a candidate's personality, if it is not really relevant for that particular job or role, can only be confusing, and the resulting uncertainty can lead to a lot of biased decisions because this additional, likely unnecessary knowledge can, knowingly or unknowingly, be used to justify the decision to hire someone we want to and not hire someone we don't want to. Also, not all personality questionnaires are equally valid. Only some are well established, research based, and validated. The rest may be misleading or inaccurate. So it's better to stick to necessary and proven evaluations. Situation judgment tests or scenarios have become quite popular today, and with good reason. These tests present candidates with realistic work-related scenarios and then ask them to choose the best course of action from a given set of options or present their own solution. This can be far more objective than interview questions, which often try and evaluate personal characteristics and may be subject to bias. These job-related scenario assessments can reveal a lot about a candidate's decision-making skills and ability to handle work-related challenges. But again, in order to ensure fairness and accuracy, These situation and scenario evaluations should undergo pilot testing and validation. They need to be critically assessed for their effectiveness in predicting job performance. But also, more importantly, we need to identify potential biases in these evaluations before they are implemented.